All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And if you're new to me, to my channel, if you're watching live on YouTube or on the replay, please do subscribe. And we do live shows on, well, usually 3 times a week, but it changes. So in order to get all the notifications, please also hit that bell, and please join us for the live shows or the replays where we bring wonderful speakers, guests here on the show with us to share with us their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their processes, etc., so that we all can grow, evolve, expand consciously, raise the vibration of the planet and ourselves and the collective, and whatever, can assist you in thriving, in living your life to the fullest with ease and joy. So today, my good friend Joy Baker is here with us. And so, because I said Joy, right? So Joy Baker is here with us. And I'm so excited because she's going to be talking about the Abundance Accelerator, creating a life of health, wealth, and happiness. And so some of what we're going to discuss today is how, in order to receive increasing amounts of money in your life, you must do this. So what is this? We're going to find out. We're going to talk about and understand why how you talk and feel about money will either repel it or attract it. Learn why it's necessary for you to appreciate yourself in order to receive more money in your life. We're also going to be, Joy is going to be facilitating a live group energy process. So please stay tuned for that. Of course, we will be doing live caller questions as well. So if you're here live on Zoom, please do raise your hand or type your question in the chat. And for those of you who don't know Joy, she's been with us many times. We love having her here on the show. She's one of our popular speakers. I always have a wonderful time. And for me, Joy's clearings and activations and processes that she does on the show live are really powerful. And it's not just for the one person who's asking the question, it's for everybody. So please be willing to receive. And some of what I wanted to share about Joy is that she has developed the ability to read the emotional energies that we each carry within us, and now offers energy clearings and activations, which, like I said, are so very powerful. And you're going to experience that today on the show. So again, whatever is coming up for you, let it come up and let it go, let it release, right? So since we're rarely taught as children how to process and let go of emotions that are limiting us, those emotions can become stuck in our bodies at a cellular level. And if you've ever gone through any trauma in your life, such as a car accident, relationship breakup, loved ones dying, loss of employment, physical, sexual, emotional abuse, or more, chances are you haven't known how to deal with the emotional aftermath of those events. And those emotions then become stored in your body. And once that happens, you can develop attachments to those limiting feelings, beliefs, and unconsciously create scenarios in your life that can cause feelings such as anxiety, fear, shame, guilt, anger, overwhelm, etc., to repeat over and over. And we've all experienced some sort of trauma in our lives, whether as children, even as adults, right? And so the first step to becoming self-empowered is awareness. And once you become aware of what's limiting you, it can then be released and cleared. And so the emotional energies within your energy field are unique to you, and Joy excels at identifying the emotions within your field, releasing what has been keeping you stuck and limited, and then activating the new earth energies that you are ready to feel and embody. So I'm excited because we always have a wonderful time. The energies are always so powerful. We learn a lot, we let go of a lot. So please join me in welcoming Joy back to the show. Joy, welcome.
Hey, Lara, it's great to be here again. And thank you to everybody for being here live or on the replay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's about, of course, money, but so much more health, happiness. It all works together, as you're experiencing right now. And many of us are. We've got to take care of our health.
Absolutely. And, sometimes people like myself who I always said, I'm pretty healthy. I don't have anything going on. Well, we tend to overlook certain things, or we minimize certain things, that we're feeling, thinking, oh, it's nothing. But, it's teaching me a very good lesson, once, first on behalf of my husband, what he had to learn, right? And now me kind of a little bit. So it's very important to be healthy and important to listen to our body, right? Listening to our body is key as well. So today, like I said, Joy, we're talking about the Abundance Accelerator, creating a life of health, wealth, and happiness, right? And so part of that has to do, like you said, with money, but also with your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health, and being happy in your life. But also, it's also about creating that happiness, right? Feeling that happiness, embodying that happiness, finding that happiness everywhere and expressing it. So let's talk about, let's start off with, about the Abundance Accelerator, what that exactly means, and, how you work with it and how we can even access it. I love my questions. They're also so big.
Right. Well,
Choose
you
what you
pretty
want
much,
from that.
you pretty much touched on it there, is happiness. And like, I had a client say to me once, can I hate money and yet be abundant? And I said, no. And that is because of the frequency. Money, we see it as a physical thing, whether it's actual cash or it's credit or it's online, whatever it is, but it's frequency. And if your frequency is one of anger, hate, or avoidance of money, or focusing on debt, that's what you're going to get more of. You're aligning with that frequency. So when you, like, the happiness is, in fact, that's focusing on happiness, feeling happy, finding moments of happiness, and noticing and acknowledging those moments of happiness or peace or excitement or being curious or inspired, even if it's just a moment. You don't have to be in that 24/7, because once we identify and acknowledge, we start to focus on that. We start to give attention to that, and then we get more of that in our life. And so, yes, it starts, just like you said, it starts with happiness. So the frequency you are feeling, the frequency you are focusing on, the frequency is the frequency you're radiating out, and that's what you're going to attract. So, and that's the number one thing you must do, which most people I'm sure have heard of, is to attract more abundance in your life, or health, or whatever you're looking for, is to first be that, focus on that. Now, often when we hear that, we think, well, I have to be there 24/7. At first, it's going to start out as a moment of happiness, or, you know what, even something as such as, I don't feel the heaviness right now. Like, what is this? Oh, this is lightness. Notice that, like, actually consciously have your mind notice that and pay attention to it. And even if it's gone, as soon as you notice it, that's okay, because what we notice, we focus on, we give attention to, and or energy to, and energy is like a boomerang, it will come back. So the more your mind, it's like you're creating that memory in your mind. It's kind of like muscle memory. You're creating that mind in your body, or that memory in your body, your mind, body, mind, spirit. And then you start to notice that more and more. So focusing on what you desire, focusing on happiness, anything like that, that's what's going to attract more and more money to you, and also health. Because the more you focus on, oh, I felt good there for a moment, then you start to attract that. And so ask yourself, what do you want to align with? If you're living a life of scarcity and, focus on debt, if you're constantly, day after day, not feeling very good and very low energy, are you focusing on that? And it's not about, many people will say, well, if I don't focus on that, then I'm lying to myself. You're not lying to yourself. You're acknowledging, okay, right in this moment, I haven't been feeling very good. I don't have a lot of money when I look at my bank account, but is that a truth? Well, not in the new earth, it isn't. Not in fifth dimension and above, that it's abundant. So where are you living predominantly? What dimension? And start to shift your attention and energy towards what your desires are. So it starts with a want. But if we always want something, that's like the carrot in front of the horse, but the horse is hooked up to a cart and it, keeps going after the carrot, but he can't get it. Well, that's what want does. It's always in front of you. So you're always wanting, it's always in the future. So start choosing it. I am, whatever follows I am is, what you're going to start to receive. Choose it. I am, expect to receive it, and create the conditions for that to come into your life, the energetic and emotional conditions.
Absolutely. I totally agree with all of that. And I just want to add one small piece. So it's not about ignoring or pushing away the stuff that we don't want, but it is acknowledging, like in a day, in a 24-hour day, there are many moments where I'm laughing, playing with the dogs, looking outside and enjoying the beauty of nature, etc. Right? So those moments, are higher vibration, higher frequency, right? So focusing on those moments does not mean that I'm pushing away I'm in so much pain. Let me just push that away for now and focus on this, because I can't focus on, for example, meditating when I'm in pain, right?
Mhm.
So it's like in the moment when I'm in pain, okay, I'm in pain, feel it, do energy work, healing work, etc., do whatever that is. But then in those other moments when I'm not feeling pain, but I'm feeling good, acknowledging that, right? And being aware of
Yes.
that and acknowledging that and being grateful for it, right?
Absolutely acknowledge that, because the more you acknowledge, the feeling good, happiness, being in nature and the freedom, the lightness of that, the more you attract that, because you're creating the energetic, emotional environment within yourself and externally, and that's going to attract more of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Absolutely.
wanted people to, we're not just saying, just think positive. We're saying,
Absolutely,
acknowledge the not so great stuff. You still have to deal with that, but in those other moments, also acknowledge those moments and focus a little bit more, pay more attention to those moments if you can, right? So
Absolutely, I want to be really clear that I call it a false positivity, where people just put a happy face or a smile over the gunk or the muss or whatever it is, and people know that, intuitively we know that when somebody hasn't dealt with their stuff and they're just putting a smile on or they're just saying things. So absolutely don't acknowledge what's not working, but focus on your desires.
absolutely. And, do the work, right? Everybody do the work. We still have to do the work. So, like we were talking about money specifically, right? And about your energy and frequency around money. And, the aligning with the frequency of what you desire, right? Obviously. But at the same time, it's about, when you are working on aligning with what you desire, even in those moments, Joy, sometimes, all your stuff, sorry, all your stuff comes up, right?
Mhm.
So when you're consciously trying to focus on your desires, on what you want, feeling the good feelings, etc., sometimes your mind will come up with stuff and say, what about this? What about this? What about this? So can we talk a little bit about that as well?
Absolutely, it's a good question, good point. It used to be that when we would do our inner work, we went down that rabbit hole of, what's going on here and why do I feel this way? But we were stuck in the third dimension. And that was like kind of like how we were taught to do our inner work, is just go down there. But things are shifting now. Consciousness is shifting. We're in the age of Aquarius now. So the more you focus on your desires, the more you actually take action. Yeah, it's going to bring up all your stuff. But what you're doing is you're spending more time in those higher consciousness fields, those higher dimensions. And as you're in those higher dimensions, all your stuff comes up, but it comes up automatically. You don't have to go down into the muck or the dense energies or anything. So while you're creating, it's not about, okay, I have to work on all my stuff, which I thought it used to be, have to work on all my stuff and clear out all the fear and everything, and then I can take action. No, decide what your desires are, figure out what they are, how you'd like to live your life, start to take action, all your stuff's going to come up. And I always ask clients, especially when they start working with me, like, what are you moving towards? Because as people move towards that, it just automatically comes up, and then you deal with it. You're like, so you're going back and forth. It's not about figuring everything out in 3D consciousness, 4D consciousness, and spending years and decades there. We used to do that. But now you're going in the fifth dimension, you feel that, you envision it, you start to magnetize that towards you and you towards it, and all your stuff is going to come up. So then you go back, down there, figure out what it is, spend time in the fourth dimension processing, you clear that out and you go back to the fifth dimension. So you're not just stuck in one dimension, you're cycling back and forth and like all the time. But the more you focus on your desires, the more you will create them. I've got a couple clients now who are currently going through like huge action, things they've been thinking about for months and years. I mean, finally it's all coming to fruition, and all their stuff is coming up in a big way, but they're so busy and they're taking such massive action right now that it's coming up and they're aware of it, but they're consciously, I'm letting go of this, I'm letting go of this, and they keep taking action. And yeah, it's like, I'm so amazingly proud of them because they desired it, they wrote about it and such, and now it's coming true. And all their stuff is coming up, but they also have the awareness of why it's coming up, and they have to take action. They're kind of, created those circumstances. So, it will focus on your desires and give yourself permission. Okay, so anybody who says I don't deserve or I'm not worthy of having that or living that way or even feeling that or experiencing that, let's see, that's a 3D consciousness. It's what you were taught. There you go. Let's just let go of, well, first of all, witness and acknowledge any deserving and worthiness issues, and acknowledge the reason you had them up until now, because they kept you, to your unconscious conditioned self, they kept you safe and kept you stuck. But now it's time to release those deserving and worthiness issues and to move forward and create the emotional, energetic environment for your desires, for living your best life ever, and then moving forward. There you go. Shokabasa, walasa shokabasa, walasa shokabasa, walaka, walasa shoko, walasa. There you go. There was some happiness coming up there.
Awesome. Thank you. So that was a little bit of a clearing that Joy just did for everybody. So if, at some level, some of us are still experiencing that, self-worth issue, non-deserving issue. So please be willing to receive it, even if your mind in the moment says, no, that's not what I want to focus on. I want this. I just want this. I want this question answered. Only this. Well, you know what? Be willing to receive from everything, because there's a reason why you're here on the call live or watching on the replay, right? So there's something here for everybody.
Absolutely.
I was just going to ask you another quick question, Joy, before we go to people with questions, and that was around when you are desiring something, whatever it is that you want, right? This is an issue that I have. It's like every time I always have to ask myself, okay, why do you want this? Like, are you coming from a limiting place, a fear place, a scarcity place, or are you coming from an expansive place where, this feels good and it's your next step, whatever kind of thing. What's your opinion on that?
I think those are really good questions. Ask yourself why. Like, does it feel expansive and light? Does it move me into freedom? Or is it because, like, I remember years ago, I was going to take action on something. And I started to write down all the reasons I wanted to do this. And there's something like 10 reasons. The very last reason was because of me. All the other reasons were, I wanted to make this people happy. I wanted to, at that time, make my mom and dad happy, different things like that. I wanted approval. And finally, I got to the 10th reason, and it was because of something I, was desiring that didn't really matter. It was everything else. And I went, oh, I'm doing, considering doing that for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, really find out why you're doing it. Does it feel, if you were to take action on it and actually achieve it or experience it, do you feel lighter? Or is it all about making somebody else happy? Yeah, those are great questions to ask yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important because sometimes when people are desiring something and the reason behind it is fear, lack, scarcity, or doing it for other people, sometimes it doesn't work out. It doesn't come to fruition. And then you wonder, why is it not coming to fruition? Like, what am I doing wrong? Right. And, you're not doing anything wrong, but it's not really your true desire. It's not coming from your heart. It's coming from limiting beliefs, perhaps, right?
Absolutely. Or it may just be that it's not time yet. Like when I went through 2 bankruptcies, and I went, so a lot of lack and limitation and wondering every month, how am I going to pay rent and such. But at the same time, yes, I mean, I was in that situation, and this is where you acknowledge it, but you don't avoid it, but you focus on something greater. So I would, okay, how this year, or this month, how am I going to make rent or pay bills or different things like that? But at the same time, I also knew I wanted to be, well, first I was a coach, and then I was a healer. I knew I was moving towards something greater. I knew every penny I did have, besides paying rent and bills and such, was on my personal growth, but I knew why I wanted to do this. This was my passion. So yeah, it took me a lot of years, but I was always moving towards something. And then when the time was right, it's, it all came, I took action, and it just came together. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, we're going to take some questions. What types of questions do you want to take, Joy?
Any kind. It's all energy. So whether it's money or it's health or happiness or it's relationships, it's all energy.
All right, so we're going to take some live caller questions, and then some people have questions in the chat. So Layla was here before I was here today.
For me too.
Hi, Layla.
Hello.
Layla.
Hi. It's so interesting the way this universe supports. I was doing a journal prompt this morning, and it came up that as a child, I was given the belief of I owe, O-W-E, I owe. And, you know, it's continued on. And then I found your free gift from the show, that from Alara's show, and I did that meditation. And then what happened was this physical pain in my back that literally feels like I've been stabbed in the back has arisen after I did that. So I'm curious.
Okay. Is it you're between the shoulder blades or by one
Yeah,
of your...
yeah, it's the right side between the spine and the shoulder blade.
Okay. Has it been there before, or is it?
It has. It comes and goes, but it really felt like it just came in strong after I did that meditation.
Okay, so it's been there before. Okay, so your body's trying to let go of something, because all that, yeah, that's a lot of clearing and activations and that. And so your body's trying to let go of something. So is it closer to the right side?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So okay, first thing that comes up is anger. So you're angry at somebody, and you're being held almost in a vice there. Oh, that's interesting. Vice is coming up. And okay, so you're in power struggle with this person. It doesn't mean you know who they are. You might know who they are, you might not. It could be from decades ago. But you're in power struggle with this person. And the dynamic, it's a right and wrong dynamic, which is a 3D consciousness. And it's designed to keep us stuck, separate, and weaken, the right and wrong dynamic. But you guys are stuck in this. And so you don't have to know who they are, but we're going to ask the universe, if you are willing. You can negate anything I say by saying no afterwards. And so we're going to ask the universe to show you how to understand this situation. The universe knows what the situation is from multiple points of view. There you go. There's your anger coming up. Oh, okay, so this is, yeah, pretty wicked anger is coming up. So you're trying to win with this person. So you're trying to almost assert your dominance over this person. And like I said, it can, even if you don't know who they are, and if you talked to them 30, 40 years ago, there you go. Whole self relax. Okay, all the ways you're believing that if you let go of the power struggle and you give what you believe is you would be giving them the satisfaction of being right, that you have somehow lost, and then you have weakened yourself. But that's like a conditioned response. So all the ways you believe that if you let go of the right and wrong dynamic and the need to be right and the need to assert your dominance over this person or even being, that you will actually be weakening yourself. So you're trying to, in other words, you're trying to keep yourself physically and energetically strong, but you're going about it by being in battle with somebody. So there might be some past life stuff here as well. There you go. So, okay, so we're going to ask the universe to show you how, by letting go of the power struggle with this person or being, that you will actually be strengthening yourself. You will be strengthening yourself in fifth dimension and above consciousness, in the space, like the new earth space. There you go. Okay, there's some grief coming up because you have carried this within you for so long. So long, even feels like centuries. So it feels like, yeah, there's some past life stuff here, that it's almost like you're saying, how will I be able to like be in this world and survive? Not survive, but just like know what actions to take and how to get by and how to interact with others without this dynamic within me. So again, I think this is applying for a lot of people here. So we're going to ask the universe to show you how to be with be with yourself from a place of peace and joyfulness, to be with others from a place of harmony, kindness, understanding, acceptance. There you go. Just notice how your entire self has relaxed. Okay, there's some calmness. Okay, so let's go to, yeah, it feels like if the pain hasn't gone yet, it's going to dissipate. You can always drink more water and, stretch it out by just pulling your shoulder blade over to the side. And there you go. But it's Shokabasa. We'll just see the release of any pain that you feel is necessary, any ways in which you believe you deserve pain, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Let's go ahead and release that. There you go. There's some gratitude coming up. But when that gratitude came up, I heard a voice. It felt like a mother, and at least a dominant female voice saying, you don't deserve to be great. You don't deserve to feel gratitude. You don't deserve to express gratitude. So there you go. Let's go ahead and release that. Any people, beings, entities, energies, any dark forces, anything like that that is keeping you stuck in a 3D consciousness that is causing restriction and pain within you, release now on all levels: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, cellular, and throughout all time and space. Shokabasa, walasa, shokabasa, walaka. Walasa, shoko, kowalasa, shokabasa, walaka. There you go. There's the energy flowing between your shoulder blades there. Okay, take a deep breath in. Let that go. Okay, there you go.
Thank you so much. I did at that certain point when you did the light language, it just all started releasing. So thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for that. That was a great question. Okay.
Awesome, Layla. Thank you. And thank you for downloading the MP3 from Joy and actually using it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that.
All right, Tanya, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello,
Hi,
Joy.
Tanya.
Hello,
Hi, Tanya.
hello, ladies. Always love to see you both. So I started thinking of co-creation like recently, and it's getting better, and I feel more kind of that I believe in myself. But when I think about money, it is the only thing that makes me I almost feel pain in my solar plexus, and it's not so much pain as a sorrow or hurt. And I don't know either it is something from my previous life or maybe ancestral, because my grandma lived in scarcity, my mom lived in scarcity. So I wonder what it is that blocks me.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you said the word money, I felt this all in your right here. And it was even hard to like breathe or even talk. Okay, yeah. So I could feel that restriction. Yeah. So when you mention your grandmother and your mother, so you're any ways in which you believe you are obligated to carry the pain and the sorrow and grief of your ancestors around money. Okay, so money, at least to your ancestors, mean freedom. And because women traditionally have, it's been the men who have been the income earners, the ones who traditionally bring home the majority of the money. And so traditionally women have never felt that sense of freedom. And so money means freedom, and you feel trapped just like your ancestors did. There you go. Yeah, just take a deep breath. And when I said that, I felt your release. Okay, so when you think of money, having more money, receiving ever increasing amounts of money into your life with ease and grace, what would you do with more money? In other words, why do you want more money? How would that support you in moving forward?
Well, first of all, I would buy the house, but I always wanted to have my own charity organization. But when you say money, I feel anxiety in my solar practice. Like even when you did the healing for the lady before me, and you said an now release, and I felt anxiety, and I don't know why.
See, you and your ancestors are so used to living in pain, restriction, limitation, being told what to do. that the thing with money, often we'll say, I want more money, I want to increase. But once we start having more money, it gives us, we can have more expansive experiences. We can start to, buy a house. We can travel. We can, like I said, you want to start a charity organization so you can support so many others. So you can experience life in a bigger way. You can support others in a bigger way. And there you go. All your deserving issues are coming up. See, all your ancestors, everybody you've known has lived in scarcity, lack, limitation. Their freedom has been, restricted in that. And now all of a sudden, what if you were to have a lot of money, you would have all these opportunities, and that brings up that literally causes you pain. All the like your deserving issues, your worthiness. And then, so let's say you all of a sudden, won $1 million or inherited $1 million, and you've got a big chunk of cash there. And you could do all these things with it, or whatever you need to, to start your charity organization, buy a house, travel, whatever you want to do. And you have all these opportunities in front of you. And often we will say, I want to have more money. But then it brings up what one of the things having more money does, it gives us choice. And then we actually have to choose. And if we're in fear of making choices, then there are so many reasons we will keep ourselves limited financially, because it's much safer and it can be easier in a lot of ways to keep ourselves limited financially. We don't have to choose. We don't have to go, well, our ancestors didn't get this. They were, my mom, my grandmother didn't have this. Ancestors before that, chances are they were in lack and limitations. So why should I? So then it causes you to really go within and say, well, what do I deserve? And what is abundance? And it really causes a person in a way to really go deep into what is abundance and really understand the abundance of the new earth and abundance. See, money and love in that divine space, not the human space. In the divine space I see it as the same frequency. It's light, it's purity, it's grace, it's expansiveness, it's freedom. And so when you think of money and having more money, like a large amount of money, and experiencing it, it brings all this up. And up until now, you haven't known what it is. So you've just felt it as pain and restriction. But see, I can feel your solar plexus as you start to understand it and recognize that it's already starting to release. So
feel better.
There you go. Okay. So I want to go do a bit of clearing with it, because I think this will help a lot of people. And so, and this can apply to, so we're talking about money, but it can be for health. If your mom, your parents, or your sister, or anybody you know, especially growing up, wasn't very healthy, or your person wasn't very healthy, and now all of a sudden you're going to experience health. And, so this applies to everything. So all the ways of thought of having and experiencing having a lot of money, the choice that comes along with that, the decisions, and all the opportunities that your ancestors, your mom, your grandmother, all those before them, especially women, sometimes men, but especially women, did not have. And now all of a sudden, if you were to have all that money, you would have all this choice and opportunities. And that, that brings up literally a pain within you. And it's, there you go. So let's witness that. All the ways that would be the pain of, it's like, why do I deserve to have all these choices and opportunities when nobody else in my life did? Or my ancestors, in the pain that, let's just witness that pain. If now is not the time to release that pain, then when is it going to be? And if it's never, then just at least allow peace within yourself. And if now is the time to release the pain, or tomorrow, or the next week, then give yourself permission to release that pain. So just imagine, again, you can negate it afterwards by saying no. Let's imagine that you have given yourself permission to release the pain. And you realize now that what the ancestors went through, they went through because that was their life they were living. There was some kind of purpose they were working through, maybe a trauma. There was some reason that they needed to live that life, but that doesn't mean it's your life. So let's honor the ancestors, bless them, respect them for all they've, the path they have created for you. And now let's honor the pain, respect the pain. There you go. Simply bless that pain. There you go. and the pain is being transformed. And now let's create the space for you to be willing to receive opportunities. And that includes more and more money with ease and grace, the opportunities, and know that when the time comes to choose and to make decisions, you will be guided. So let's open you up to trust, and aligning with that frequency of trust. Trust that you're guided, trust that you're supported by a higher power, the angelic universe. There you go. Shokabasa, awalasa, shokabasa, walaka, walasa, shoko, kawalasa, shokabasa. There you go. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so much better, easier and
Great.
lighter. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Joy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Tanya.
you, Alara.
So I just want to address something. I want to ask you a question about it, Joy.
Mhm.
So Tanya talked about starting a charity, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times people will wait to start a charity or organization or whatever until they have the money. But in my understanding is, don't wait for the money. Start the process of creating it, because it takes time and energy and forms and blah 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 blah, right? But isn't it better to just start the process even before you have the money?
Absolutely. Action is a bridge. So if we can envision it, feel into it, create that magnetic energy, but eventually at some point we need to take action. Eventually we'll be at the, state of consciousness, and I don't know, 500, 1,000 years maybe, where we can envision it and it will happen. And maybe there's, the occasional saint who can do that, but we're not at that state of consciousness. So we still need to take action. And that's often where we falter, is we will vision it, we will feel into it and all that, but we don't take action because often, introverts and empaths going out in the world, it can be a scary place. And then you have to go and interact with others, and so then we just keep going down that rabbit hole of pain, trying to figure out what's wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you, me, anybody else. It's simply you take action. And so, yes, and the more you envision it, feel into it, and take action, you're creating the circumstances, energetic and emotionally, for that money or health or whatever else you're looking, happiness, to align and flow into your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. So, if any of you has any desire, any wish or whatever, don't wait for the money to show up. Don't wait for circumstances to change before you start doing the energetic and physical work. Okay. Just start doing something.
One more thing I'd say, and I didn't say anything when I was talking with Tanya, is charities. I think charities and nonprofits in that there's going to be a shift. There's a shift energetically. I can feel it happening, because charities before have been about or nonprofits have been about the haves and the have-nots. And I think as we create and co-create in the new earth, energetically, that's going to shift. I'm not sure. Like, it feels like nonprofits, their name will eventually be changed. Maybe not in the 3D, but at those who create in the 5D, I think they'll be finding a different name for them or call them something different, but the intent will be the same, to support those that, are going through a hard time or don't have or need support or help in some way.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good. All right, Sarah, you want to unmute yourself?
I do. Thank you.
There you are, Sarah.
Hello, Joy. My lovely flowers seem to be making my face weird, but we'd rather look at flowers anyway, wouldn't we?
You look like you're all energy right now, Sarah.
Okay, I'm going to do that so I don't interfere with them. Well, let's see. I am feeling so much better today, but the last 2 days, last week, I was feeling really panicky because I kept injuring other body parts in order to protect the one that I can't support myself on. So, and I started feeling depressed, and, I've been alone all this time, and the bills are rolling in. What do you see that's up for me?
Well, first of all, when you were talking about, like, the protecting, part of your body because it can't take the weight and such right now. And so you heard other parts. There was a little bit of trying to push yourself, but that's because you don't have the support, and also anger because you don't have the support. There you go. Okay, so anger, let's see. So you're stuck right now. Let's start there. So all the way, Sarah, you are stuck in anger because nobody is there to support you when you have spent a lifetime of supporting others. And there you go. Okay, so there it is. There's a lot of grief there. There's a lot of grief. And what you're saying is, am I destined to, always be on my own and just take care of myself? Like, you've got people around you, but they're not paying attention and they're not taking care of you. There you go. Okay, so what are you? Okay, so all the ways you're pushing yourself, all the ways you are. Okay, all the ways you are in fear that if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't, these are your words, get it together and move out of the pain, allow the healing, and start being able, to be capable, that there will be nobody there for you. And then you go into fear of how will I survive, which is way deeper than this time, like what's going on. This is a core issue of how will I survive? Okay, so all the ways it was programmed within you to worry about your survival, to ask yourself, how am I going to survive? How will I survive? Let's go into that. There you go. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
there's
that's
some,
that's physical and financial.
yes, okay, so there's some shame there. And so let's go into the shame and there. Okay, so as you go into the shame, there's anger. So you're kind of looping here from shame to anger. And the shame is that I'm not good enough. I should be able to survive on my own. Like, okay, let's release this one right now. What's wrong with me? And then you go into anger because all the people you thought would be there for you aren't there for you. So you're looping between shame and anger, and occasionally you go deep into the fear. So all the ways you're looping between shame and anger, and occasionally you kind of take a diversion and visit fear a little bit and then go back into shame and anger. There you go. Let's release that on all levels. Let's call in Archangel Michael. So anybody who has any patterns or loops that just keep repeating themselves and you feel like you can't get out of them, you keep doing the same thing. Same thing keeps happening, just keeps repeating. Archangel Michael, for all those that are ready and give permission, cut all cords. Let's all cut all cords, bonds, contracts, attachments, vows, commitments, oaths, agreements, negotiations, deeds, debts, obligations, traditions, curses, cut and release on all levels now, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual now, and throughout all time and space, dimensions, timelines, lifetimes, universes, galaxies, throughout all of eternity. Okay, there's some gratitude coming up, but okay, there's some anger. So from you, Sarah, but from the whole group, it's like anger is just exploded, especially from the heart chakra. This is where I see the anger exploding. It's like that heart chakra burst open, but what burst is releasing is an explosion of anger. So we're simply going to acknowledge and witness that anger. Let's just bless the anger. It's been serving a purpose. There you go. I don't know if you felt that, but the heart just released. Okay, so the heart feels much, but it feels almost tender because you have gone through so much emotional pain in your life and there's a lot of grief. So start blessing yourself, start appreciating yourself, start being kind to yourself. And trust that your angels, your guides, the angelic universe, Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity, trust that they have your back, that they're taking care of you. Chant the Lakshmi mantra, if that, to put yourself in that vibrational field of money, of even health and wealth, anything like that. There you go, your whole self relax. Okay, there's some gratitude and happiness coming up. And now you've moved into, well, what if it is possible? I can feel your mind saying, well, what if it is possible? What if it is possible to, get through this, become healthy and vibrant again? What if it is possible for my financial situation to improve? And what if I just trusted? What if I trusted in the universe? So keep bringing yourself back to trust and trust in the universe. This is a conscious thing. You have to do this because you're stuck in the fear that loop. It's been released in this moment. It's been released, but at any time we can go back into that loop. So you want to consciously say, you know what, I trust that the universe is taking care of me. Chant the Lakshmi mantra or whatever prosperity mantra you want, anything like that, or play it on YouTube, whatever, you know, whatever it takes, you consciously bring yourself back into the higher frequencies and be willing. And I know you've been doing that. Be willing to engage with those of higher consciousness because it can feel really safe because it's familiar. What's familiar is their comfort zone, to continue to engage or be in power struggle with those that are toxic or in dysfunction. So you want to consciously say, you know what, I'm going to reach out to this person of, you know, say higher consciousness or such, or go watch something that's really high frequency. And that's a conscious, you have to do that consciously, especially in the beginning, because in what's our familiar in our comfort zone, even though it's toxic and dysfunctional, is the emotional environment that we grew up in, which was often very abusive and toxic and dysfunctional. And even though we're all on the path looking to move out of that, again, we move, especially in moments of stress, we default to our comfort zone. So you consciously say, you know what, I trust that the universe is looking out for me, has my back, and I'm going to go listen to something that's really high frequency that will pick me up. And just keep doing that over and over again. Even write yourself a note if you have to. Okay, so, and let's take this opportunity, because Sarah, I know you've gone through a lot physically lately, so as, you know, others, Alara and others. So let's bless the physical body and let's see the physical body healed, happy, healthy, vibrant, and feeling good about yourself. And let's include your self-talk in that so that your self-talk is kind to your body and kind to yourself. So kind to the body, you know, it's physicality, but also kind to yourself if you don't do something the way you would have liked to. So what we normally call right. Or if you feel like you can't walk as far as you like, that's okay. Just say, okay, there's something I'm experiencing right now. I'm not wrong. That's okay. And I will move through this. There you go. There's some relaxation. There's some happiness as well. Okay, take a deep breath in. Let that go. There you go. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm always so grateful for any encounter with you, much less the help. So I love your haircut.
Okay. Thanks, Sarah.
Talk
Thanks,
to you
Sarah.
later.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, we're gonna go to Heal, Evolve, Shine. I know you can't raise your hand, so go ahead and mute yourself. Heal, Evolve, Shine.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the moment and wanting to know what the true issue is underneath. So I've been, as you know, on a path for decades and always taking action. And I'm in a space now where I'm not inspired at all to offer all the healing modalities and everything that I've spent so long learning, because I feel that they're modalities and I'm just going through the motions. I've just learned how to do them and I do them. I mean, I do connect with the energy, but I don't feel connected to the divine. I mean, I feel the energy come through, but that's all I feel. And so I'm in the process now of going back to the work that I specialize in. And I have this bit of conflict about, well, that's back to a job. Is that going back to 3D? And I'm wanting to sift out all the BS that we get, even in the spiritual communities, that if you work a job, that you're not involved, that you're in the matrix, that you can't offer, you can't grow as much, you can't offer your best service. And yet I'm not feeling that as a truth for me, because I can do such good work in the area where I've specialized in for so long. So I'm wanting to do divine work, but it hasn't come to me yet. And I keep moving forward and I keep doing things, taking action. And I've been writing a few book chapters and they've been getting out there and you know, I've created an oracle deck, and that's on a platform, but they're just little things that I still feel like I'm in this kind of.
So what's your question?
So I'd like to know what's underneath all that. You know, I'm rationalizing it all, you know, that.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
I'd love to
so-
know what's underneath it all, please.
Okay, so first of all, let's clear out some scattered energy and being all over. Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know who says having a job isn't evolved, because I mean, one thing we all know and our soul knew before we ever came in here is that we need money. You know, so yeah, and a job gives us money. So yeah, it can be a very 3D environment, but the job supports you and serves you by giving you money. So let's just release any belief that having a job is not evolved. And yeah, let's just let go of that one. There you go. It might not be much fun, and it might be in the 3D, but it has nothing to do with being involved. It has to do with supporting yourself. Okay, so so that aside, like your question appeared to be like, do I take this job or not? What I could tell. Is that what you're?
I enjoy the work I do, but it's not it's not necessarily going to connect me further to the divine.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you need the money that job will provide?
I will, yes. I will.
Okay.
If I keep going,
Okay.
I will, yes.
Okay, so even if you don't need it immediately, you will, like, I mean, you mean money. So you need a job. And it's a
Yeah.
field, you said it's a field you know, you don't mind being in it, you're good at it. So, okay, so that's what, if you want to take the job, if you feel like, yeah, for now, this job works for me, that's okay. So it feels like your other question is, I'm not connected to the divine, but that's because what I'm getting anyways, is you're all over the place. You're, okay, do I take this job? But does that mean that, you know, so-called spiritual teachers are saying that's not evolved? So, but if I don't take this job, what if I run out of money and then I have to take the job? That's not very evolved either. But then, and you're so much in your mind trying to figure this out that you're not letting yourself connect. You're not letting the divine or that spiritual space or the angels give you any answers. So my suggestion is to first of all decide, am I going, you know, ask yourself, am I going to take the job? Well, yeah, it makes sense, because maybe I don't need money right this moment, but I'm going to need it. And even if you have a little bit of money, then it means you can you know, bank even more maybe, so that you can then quit for however long. And really, you know, once you feel connected to the divine, just making that decision alone will, and make this a decision, but give yourself the option to, you know, also change your mind. It doesn't mean there cannot be any other decisions. So let's say you make the decision to take the job right away, or to, you know, look in your field for a position right away. Stress releases and your heart opens up. And now I can feel how you are, okay. Okay. So see, now you're connecting to the divine, but now you're angry at the divine because you feel unsupported and abandoned by like the divine, that space. So now this actually goes to a root chakra issue from when you were growing up, and like being abandoned and not supported, and almost feels like you felt like everybody gave up on you when you were a kid. And so as what you did, you became an adult and you directed that towards the divine space. And so anyways, in which the first chakra childhood wound of being abandoned, feeling like nobody really cared, or, you know, everybody, you know, weren't being supported, you literally transferred that to the seventh chakra, and the support from your spiritual guides and the divine presence. There you go. I don't know if you felt that, but your heart release there, your heart chakras and your physical heart is opened up there. Okay, there's some gratitude. Now there's also some anger being released from your heart. I can feel it releasing from your heart chakra. And this is anger at whoever raised you, like your environment growing up, parents or whoever else raised you, or there at least somebody growing up. There's anger at, it could even be a sibling. There's often, you know, sibling relationships, dysfunctional sibling relationships. There you go. So as I'm speaking, we're witnessing all of this. Okay, so now what you're saying is, I'm not worthy. And so let's release. It's a big thing for a lot of people. I'm not worthy. Let's witness that. And let's go deeper into that, because yeah, a lot of people are feeling that right now. See, as we step more and more into the new earth in really receiving and that more expansive abundant space, it really brings up, even at another level, if you've done work around this, worthiness issues, deserving issues. So let's just keep going deeper and deeper and just shining light upon it. There you go. Okay, so now there's some grief, and that's the first chakra issue. I can feel that it's kind of wound around the sexual organs. There you go. Okay, so yeah, okay. There's the grief coming up. Let's honor and witness that grief. As we honor, witness, and bless that grief, space is created. So let's fill up that space with joyfulness, happiness, gratitude, and blessings. There you go, your whole self relaxed. Wala sa shokabasa, wala sa shokoko, wala sa, wala sa shokabasa, wala ka, wala sa shokoko, wala sa. Take a deep breath in, let that go. Okay, there you go. Thank you for that question.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Heal, evolve, shine. Love the
Mhm.
name. So I just had a quick question about her question about the difference between a job or working for yourself or doing healing work or whatever, right? All that, whatever the work is. But for me, whether you're working at a job, whether you are being supported by your spouse, whether you are doing healing work, coaching, etc., all of that is support from the divine, right? It's coming through the clients, coming through the job, coming through the spouse, etc., right? But it's still support from the divine, because you are always connected to the divine.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, that's where it originates, is from the divine. So literally, sometimes we have to almost be in that 3D consciousness, but ultimately, like you said, that's a really good point, Alara, it's coming from the divine. And so now your decision is, okay, I need to work, I need a job, I'll be in this 3D consciousness for a while, and maybe it's a little toxic or dysfunctional, or maybe not. But then you choose a higher dimensional space, a higher frequency space, the space of happiness. So, but yeah, ultimately it all comes from the divine.
Yeah.
Good
And
point.
whether you're in a 3D environment or a 5D environment, you are you, right? So your frequency, your
Absolutely.
vibration, your consciousness is in whatever space, and your frequency can raise the vibration of that space as well. So even if it's a 3D, you just being there helps to elevate the consciousness of the place.
Absolutely, yes, that's correct.
Right? That's what I think.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it does.
That's a beautiful affirmation. It's the only thing is that I'm stuck in this. Everything I've done, I've paid for and learned and trained over decades and decades, and I have that practice wisdom. I don't have my divine gifts on board, and that seems to be evading me. And that's where the stuckness comes in, or the feeling of being abandoned and not being supported comes in.
Okay, so we'll finish up with this question then, and that is, see, you've lived like this for so long and feel like you can't connect with the divine and being supported by divine gifts, that I can feel this, and I can feel a part of you arguing with me already. So take it for what it's worth. You believe what you want, but you're fighting to be right about this. You're fighting to be right about, I'm blocked from my divine gifts. So what if you gave up fighting to be right about, I'm blocked from my divine gifts? You're not the only one. Many of us do this. And just said, okay, I'm willing to receive divine support. I'm willing to receive my divine gifts. Okay, there's also, you're expecting it to come in a certain way. You're expecting a certain kind of support. You're expecting certain kind of messages. Many people do. They expect the messages or guidance to come in almost like we do in our linear life, our physical life, and almost like an action plan, and it doesn't come that way. Sometimes it's a frequency. Sometimes it's seeing a rainbow and feeling happy. Sometimes messages often come in as a word or a phrase, and that's it. And then we're just left trying to figure that out, or the actions to go forward with. So any expectation you have, in other words, any structure, construct, you are expecting divine support to come in. Let's just let that go. There you go. Okay. Okay. A little bit of anger came up. So if you're willing, we just send that to the light. And if you're willing, just be open to receive however it comes in. You're looking to receive higher consciousness. Thank you for that.
Thank you so
Okay.
very much. Deep gratitude.
Thank you.
Okay,
And that was a great
thanks.
point you made, because a lot of people have that question
Mhm.
or have that confusion, or however you want to put it. But I have to say, from my personal experience, Joy, it for me, like when I first started my healing work, I didn't have all the gifts that I have now. So when I first started, it was just one thing. And then as I continued to do the work, the modality, whatever modality it was at the time, right? As I continued doing it, using it, being present and showing up, more and more of my gifts came on board, I became aware of them, right? So we all have gifts. We're just not aware of them, right? So, but the thing is, the more you do something, one of the modalities, two of the modalities, whatever modalities you have, the more you do it, the easier it will be for you to trust yourself, and the gifts you'll be aware of them. That's how I would like to say that.
Mhm.
Right.
And I used to be completely and absolutely shut down. I mean, you see, there's zombie movies now. I was one of the zombies. I mean, my eyes were, they were just blank. And the first time a coach ever said to me, she gave me a feelings sheet, and there are all these feelings on it. And she says, well, what three, if you're going to choose the three, most optimistic feelings, what would you choose? And I didn't know what feelings were. I honestly didn't know what feelings were. And I'm like, happiness, I guess. I don't know. Like I didn't know. Like I'm supposed to feel. Like that was a new concept. And so yeah, gradually I woke up to this. And like you said, the more you wake up to your gifts, or the more you are willing to connect or allow that be supported by the angelic universe, divine, whatever you want to call it. And the more, and there was a good point brought up there, the more you let go of any expectations, because expectations, I should hear this, I should experience this. This is how guidance comes in. It should be this way. You're limiting yourself, and you're actually cutting off your connection to the divine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to harp on that too much, but I just want, to share that little bit of experience about that. So just trust and keep doing the work, right? Keep showing up. And for me, that's one of the biggest things is showing up, being present,
Absolutely.
showing up, doing the work for myself and for, clients, community, whatever, doing it without, if I do this, oh my God, this is going to happen. No, just do it. That's selfless service.
Yeah, I do that. I'm very service driven, but I do feel the futility of it despite doing it anyway.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. It's frustrating. It can be definitely frustrating.
One of the mantras a person can say, and it's what got me to where I am now, is what if it's possible? It's just, pretty basic, but just say over and over again, what if it's possible? What if bypasses the resistance of the ego mind and the right and wrong, and just saying possible, it over and over again, it creates a space within you and in your field that allows in possibilities, opportunities, new ideas, new ways of seeing things. Just I recorded that in my phone. I said it over and over for about 20 minutes, and I listened to it as I went to sleep. If I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd play it. If I woke up, when I woke up in the morning, I'd play it. I'd go for a walk and say over and over again, what if it's possible? Now, what I call the monkey mind or the ego mind, the thoughts are going to come in and say, oh, how could, different things. You bring it back. What if it is possible? What if something greater is possible? So it is something greater. So just what if it's possible? What if something greater is possible? If you say that, your mind will shift. And I've done this with clients, and eventually I can hear their mind start to say, well, maybe it is possible. What if something greater is possible? So if you continue down that, you will start to move into possibility. And that's when you open up to new possibility, opportunities, ideas, new ways of seeing things.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust, that's one of my biggest things is I choose to trust the universe. I choose to trust the divine plan. I choose to trust that everything is working out for my highest good. I choose to trust. I choose to trust. I choose to trust. So
Absolutely.
that too. And, you know, I mean, there's so many different things that we can do. But of course, gratitude is a big thing, of course, as well. Appreciation, you know, and just, you know, for me, sometimes, you know, sometimes, you know, I even am just so grateful that I get to do this. I get to have this platform. I get to do healing calls. I get to send healing and blessings and etc. to my community. I get to do that. And that also is a different energy than,
Mhm.
you know, I'm trying. No, I get to do this. So it's a different way of being. So yeah. Okay. Anyways. I hope that helps everybody.
Yeah, it's all helpful. Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Good. All right. So I want to take a few minutes, Joy, and talk about your packages, your offers. It's like the time is going by so quickly, and it's like, oh my God, we're at top of the hour and beyond. It's like, how did that happen? So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. I can find my screen. 1 sec. And yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So there's 3 packages, Joy, right?
Yes.
These are
There it is.
similar. I'm
Okay.
sure for those of you who have worked with Joy before, they're going to sound similar, but you know, this package A has 3 parts to it. Package B is everything in package A plus the personalized remote freedom clearing MP3. And package C is everything in package A plus a 45-minute personal session with Joy. And I can say I've done both the freedom clearing, the remote freedom clearing, and the personal session. I like both. I always love the personal session, but to be honest, whenever we do a personal session, Joy always goes above and beyond, especially 45 minutes. I think we've never done 45 minutes. It's always been an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know what, somehow it's always more, but you know, that's because we start talking and stuff. But package A has a lot in it. There's MP3s, there's clearing calls, there's the bonus 33 days of energy healing plus more MP3s. I mean, there's so much in package A, and then of course B and C. And the prices, of course, are $97, $127, and $147. Payment plans are available for all 3. And if you are an Inner Circle member, please do take advantage of your gift code, 10% or 25%, depending on which community you're in. All right, so package A, Joy,
Okay.
go ahead, you're on.
Okay. Okay. So these are all new. The names, some of the titles are the same, but they are new audios recently. And what you're getting every time, so it's new energies, because we're always downloading and upgrading in that. So the first part goes through all the chakras, the 7 main chakras, and you can see there what each one is for, identifying and releasing core beliefs. So like the one caller there who had the 7th chakra issue, but that's corded right back to the 1st chakra issue, the childhood wound, something like this would support that. And so we go through the 7 main chakras there. That's part 1. Part 2, so the first 2 parts are audios. And this is some bonuses, like speaking the language of abundance. And like many people talk about debt. I don't have scarcity in that. When you start to notice your language, you realize there's a language of abundance. And this really will help you focus on the language of abundance, then creating the alignment with money, optimum health, and abundant energy. And that's a long one there. That's over an hour. So that will really support your health as well. Releasing limitations through the ancestral timeline. It's only, I think, about a 10 or 12, 13-minute audio, but you can use it for absolutely anything. So all you have to do is say, this is what I'm looking to release. Stuck around, lack, not being able to connect the divine, anything like that. And then just play this and let the energy move through the ancestral timeline and release where the stuckness began, and just release it. And then living your best life ever. The inner child money meditation is, at least I found it really relaxing. And so that's your inner child on a journey about money. The 33 days, there's so much in this. And the 33 days of daily energy healing. And this actually the 33 days is June 30th to July 31st, so 33 days. But there's a bonus call June 4th, so next week and a half, and it's like a bridge from now till this starts. So you don't, and then that'll really get you started focusing on what you want to create. That's a over 2-hour Q&A call on June 4th. So you've got, plus there's what I'm sending out is every Monday and Thursday I send out, and it's it's real time, so it's recorded during the program. Q&A calls. These are messages from spirit, or sorry, not Q&A calls, audio recordings. And anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes each, you will receive 10 of those during the program. So another 3-4 hour audio program there. That's part of the 33 days. Offer a daily chanting of the Lakshma prosperity mantra. That will be remote. And then right away you receive the accelerate your receiving. There's a lot to this one. And then 2 more Q&A calls during natural program. So you receive 3 Q&A calls that are over 2 hours each. One starts June 4th, so coming up in about pretty quick here, and then 2 during the program. So that is offer A, and so you get a lot there. And then package B, so that includes the offer A and the freedom clearing. The freedom clearing, it's 25 to 30 minutes. You send me your picture and an issue, 1, 2, 3 issues, and that you'd like either cleared or activated. And we go right into, because your picture has an energy signature. So we go right into the energy of that. We identify, we dive down pretty deep quickly. We go right into the unconscious conditioning and clear out what is keeping you stuck. And then you can go forward from that place. And then we send you the recording via email. So you've got the recording as long as every time you want to listen to it. And then package C is a 45-50 minute phone call, and you can be anywhere in the world. I've worked with people all around the world I use a system. The calls are recorded, and some people prefer this because it's interactive, and then you can as memories will come up or something, traumas will come up, and we can clear them out in the moment. So either the freedom clearing, if time is an issue, or just connecting, or you just want to receive an audio, then you might want to go for the freedom clearing. If you like that interactive connection, and both are recorded, then you probably want to go for offer C here. But the package A, you get like a lot with that, and the 33-day program includes a whole lot with that. So you've got the audio program plus another 3 to 4 hour audio program, plus everything else in the 33 days. So those are the 3 offers there.
And there's some wonderful testimonials on the page, so please do take a look at them. And again, package A, B, and C are all available on a payment plan. And of course, don't forget your 10 or 25% gift code if you're an Inner Circle member. And if you're not an Inner Circle member yet and would like to be, it is free to join the free Inner Circle membership. So please do click on that to join. And so you already said when it's starting, of course, which is great. And the first bonus Q&A call is June 4th. So not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Right.
And then the 2 Q&A calls during the month of July.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. So there's a lot in there. So please do look at it some more. And if you can, obviously work with Joy. You've seen a little bit about some of the clearings that she does, so you know what that's like. But package A, the 3 Q&A calls, it's going to be like this, right? Like this type of format, Joy, where people are asking questions and you're doing clearings.
Yeah, it's just, so the first hour is phone callers, the next hour is written in questions, and I finish up with a meditation. So I go 2 hours on the questions, and then usually about a 15-20 minute meditation. So it's over 2 hours. And so that's just straight, like I don't talk in the beginning. I just, say, let's start the call, start taking questions right away. So it's a lot of clearings and activations and meditations, and it's Like I had somebody last time, I offered the 33 days. They said, wow, I sure got my money's worth. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, you will, and that's my intention, is to include as much as possible so people get their money's worth. Yeah.
And so in all three packages, you are getting engagement, interaction with Joy. So it's not just MP3s. There's a lot of engagement, interaction with Joy. So you will get your questions. Most of you will get your questions answered. So whatever's coming up for you. Okay. So please do take a look at those packages. Again, it's not starting right away, but you will receive the recordings right away, but then the 33 days starts June 29th or something. And then the Q&A calls start June 4th is the first one. And the next two are in July. And of course, the freedom clearing is anytime, like right away, whenever you happen to send the information in, as well as the personal session with Joy is going to be pretty soon as well, right, Joy? Or can be pretty soon as well?
Yeah, the freedom clearing, I send a person an email once I receive their information. And it's usually, this time of year, it's usually within a week to 2 weeks that I will do it and send it out. And the phone sessions, when a person purchases it, they're given there's a link there. They can go right in the calendar and book it whenever they want. And I think the first ones are within a couple of weeks as well and on out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So not too long of a wait. So definitely take advantage of that as well. All right. So Manisha, you're unmuted. I just noticed you're unmuted. Did you mean to be unmuted, Manisha?
Or hands
okay.
up.
Yeah, her hands up and she was unmuted.
Yes, yeah.
Where
Sorry,
are you?
I'm having a bit of a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of feedback there.
Close one of them.
Yeah, I did. I had to leave because it's my son's birthday, and then he just walked in, but I'm back again.
Oh, happy birthday.
That's why I sort of put in the chat. I think I really resonated with all the callers, Joy, you've been working with. I don't know whether for me, I'm having a lot of financial blocks, whether it's ancestral, and I have a lot of anger as well. I'm 64 years old, so till the age of 41, I never had any money problems, and then just a lot of betrayals. I wonder if you can see a way out. I don't feel supported, whether it's family or sometimes I feel like one of the other callers as well, that the divine is not supporting me as well. Is there a way out?
Well, I have to say that's not true, Manisha. I'm going to stop you there for a second before Joy jumps in. I'm going to say you can't say that you're not supported, because otherwise you'd be on the street. Right? I don't want to be harsh, but I'm just saying.
No, I understand. But it's like, sort of, it's like
you're not supported in the
years.
way that you want. You're not being supported in the way that you want.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, correction.
So
but it's
go
like
ahead, Joy.
25 years.
So Manisha, when you say you're having money problems, what is it? Paying rent or mortgage or bills or car, or what do you need more money for?
Yes.
Everything.
Everything. I've been supported by my son, and
okay.
So I felt betrayed by my ex-husband, my father. So
Okay.
siblings.
Okay, so whatever happened at 41 and the ongoing, so you said you never had money problems before. Okay, so there's anger there, but more than anger, there's just a feeling blocked. And we all work through victim consciousness. We all have the victim archetype, and we're all working through it. The reason I'm bringing that up, there's a feeling sorry for yourself energy there. But that's just part of working through that victim consciousness. So the feeling sorry for yourself. So in other words, you may be justified in that. You have been abandoned and a lot of people not there for you and abused and all of that. But at the same time, it's keeping you stuck in that victim consciousness energy. And so there's a fear that if you were to, so you've been abandoned in so many ways for so many years, that if you were to really like experience abundance, or even enough money to get by, and so you could have some peace in that, then you feel like everybody thoroughly, including your son, would completely and absolutely abandon you. And as I'm saying this, we're sending it to the light. So all the ways you feel like you had enough money to support yourself, you were, felt good about it, you're happy, you're peaceful. What you're saying is, money is the only connection I have that ensures that at least some people will stay in my life and they will continue to support me. If it wasn't for money, then everybody would abandon me. So there you go. Okay, so there's a really deep grief coming up. There's also some anger, because what you're saying is, well, yeah, that's what's always happened. Like, I have tons and tons of proof about that. And okay, so I hope you're hearing me okay, because my internet connection's a little unstable.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
all the ways you believe that if you were to have more money, feel relaxed about money, feel good about money, that everybody would abandon you. And there, let's go back. Okay, there's some deep grief coming up here. So you want to go back to whatever happened at 41 and thereabouts, even leading up to that time, that caused the money issues. There's a lot of grief around there. There's a lot of grief there. So let's just witness that grief, honor and acknowledge the grief. And so you felt really abandoned, whatever happened back around that, in your early 40s, or even leading up to that time. So even late 30s, you felt really, really abandoned. And it was almost, to you at that time, it was almost like proof that everybody abandons me. Nobody cares. Okay, any ways in which you have just like said, I am abandoned. Let's go ahead and release that. Any ways in which you are confirming that you will be abandoned by saying, I am abandoned. And so, because that whatever falls I am is what you're creating. But this is so, okay, all the ways this loops in your unconscious mind. I am abandoned. Let's release that. Okay, so you're holding on really tightly to that. Okay, so you have, the mind looks for evidence of that which it believes to be true. Or another way to look at, say that is, the mind looks for evidence to be right, because the mind likes to be right. Our unconscious conditioned self likes to be right, because as long as you are right, we are right, then everything stays the same, and then we stay safe. To the mind's job, the unconscious conditioned ego mind's job, is to keep us safe. So same equals safe. So to your unconscious conditioned self, it's doing its job, which is keeping you safe. So what you're doing is you're continuing to look for evidence that you are right, that everybody abandons you. And that's why your unconscious mind is saying, I am abandoned, so that you can keep doing the same thing over and over again. So all the ways you believe you're only safe as long as everything stays the same. And in order to ensure that everything stays the same, you tell yourself, I am abandoned. And then you look at all the proof to prove that you were always abandoned. Well, and then you look at money and you're like, I don't want to create a bunch of money or receive a bunch of money in my life, or have it easier time, with money, because then the few people I do have in my life who will support me are going to abandon me as well. Because, hey, look, I've got all this proof. But again, that's what happened, all the ways you're abandoned in the past, all the ways you have abandoned yourself, that was who you were at that time. That was your consciousness. That was your conditioning. So remind yourself, remind your mind, all that stuck part of yourself is, yeah, I used to be this way. That was my conditioning. That was my awareness level. But this is who I am now. And I trust that there will always be somebody there for me, whether physical or non-physical. The angels are always there for me. All I have to do is call on them. Keep reminding yourself, and then let the money flow in. Whether there's some action you can take to create money, or receiving money, or notice next time some money comes to you or somebody offers you some money, receive it with gratitude. Just say thank you. You can say just thank you. I received this with gratitude. Or if you're walking along and you find $1 or $5 or whatever it is, just say thank you. I receive with gratitude, and start giving yourself permission to receive. Okay.
I will do. Thank you so much. So I didn't really want to interrupt you when you were speaking. So 41, when all this happened, is when I decided to ask my ex-husband for a divorce. So this is
Okay.
this happened. And then when I
Yeah,
asked him
so,
for his money, he lost all his wealth as well.
okay, so yeah, you might want to do some grieving around that, because when we get married, I mean, in the moment, we're thinking it's going to be forever. That's our intention. And so, yeah, the grief goes, far back. So just, and even you don't have to know exactly what it is, just bless even the partnership you had with them and the time you had with them. Just bless that, bless yourself, honor yourself. It doesn't have to be a big thing, because then sometimes the ego mind can go into resistance, but just spend a few moments and bless all of that, and just bless all of that, and let your heart open up. And then you can say something as, okay, I'm willing to receive, I'm willing to receive, I'm willing to receive, and I know that as I receive, I am supported. I am supported. Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. Thank you, Alara. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha. Have fun celebrating your son's birthday.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Because, I mean, like, when it's my kids' birthdays, for example, it's also a very special day for me, right? It's like, it's mom day for me, right? So it's like, it's your
Absolutely, yeah.
day, it's your day too. Yeah, my daughter had a birthday 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
10 days ago, and she turned 25. And then my son is at the end of June, and he's going to be 29. It's like, oh my God,
wow.
how did that happen? All right. Anyways, Joy, I know we're like running out of time, but I know we wanted to do a process as well, that live group energy process. Do we have time for that?
Sure, it'll be probably under 10 minutes, 5-10
Okay.
minutes. Yep. Okay,
Okay.
so everybody get in mind something you would like. And if it's more money, why do you want more money? And if it's to pay, so I can pay rent more easily, you're focused on the negative. So go, okay, so I want freedom. I want to experience freedom. And so just, you can do this as many times as you want. You can listen back. So just, it might be, I want to feel free. I want the freedom to be happy. I want the freedom to experience choice. I want to buy a new car. I want to buy a house. So you want more money, but why? What's the end result there? And just get that in mind. Okay, there you go. So imagine what it is. We're first going to go into the 3D consciousness and move through that, and then you go up to new earth. So imagine, okay, so all the reasons you believe you do not deserve that, all the reasons you believe you're not worthy of that, and the fear of, it's a big fear of too many choices. What if I make the wrong choice? What if somebody gets upset with me or annoyed with me? Or what if somebody thinks I don't care? Or what if I, can't support this person in the way we want to be supported? And so all the ways you believe, if you have more money, if you experience having more money, and you can experience having more, stuff, whatever it is, house, car, travel, starting a charity, whatever it is, that will put more pressure on you. Okay, pressure. Yeah, it's a big one. Okay, so let's witness that pressure and remind yourself of how a coal becomes diamond, and that's through applying pressure to it. So you are a diamond. The pressure, you can deal with the pressure. You are supported and guided as to deal with any pressure. There you go. Okay, there's some anger coming up. So remember, so bring your focus back to your desires, bring your focus back to whether it's a charity, a house, buy a house, car, travel, swimming with the dolphins, going for a hike, being able to walk easily and effortlessly, feeling happy. There you go. Bring yourself back there. Okay, there's some grief coming up, and the grief is, but I don't deserve that. Like, nobody will like me. Nobody will like me if I have that, if I experience that. Those that want to be around you, that like you, that appreciate you, they will be of a similar consciousness, vibration, frequency, meaning one of abundance, of more of a new earth consciousness. There you go. Okay, so there's a fear of jealousy, so that if I have this, if I experience more happiness, gratitude, money, fun, laughter, freedom in my life, then people will be jealous. And I call them the dream stealers, because if people are afraid to dream themselves, if people are afraid to feel good about themselves, realize what's possible, then especially people they're emotionally connected to, they will try to drag down to their frequency. So let's just all bless the dream stillers, bless where they're at, bless those that are jealous. I mean, jealousy can be a very, it's a heavy, sharp, critical energy. So let's simply bless any jealousy, honor where they're at. And if they're, close to you, emotionally close to you, you might have to bless them and send them on their way. It's not about making them bad. It's about honoring and respecting and acknowledging where they're at and acknowledging where you're at, and that you're ready to move forward into something greater. And then you trust that as you choose something greater, as you move forward into something greater, as you walk along that journey, that path through the dimension of the fourth dimensional space, there you go, where you're processing to the fifth dimension, to the new earth. There you go. I don't know if you felt that, but you just relax, let out a big sigh, and you can feel the beauty of that, the abundance of that. And just take a look at all the people walking around there. Yeah, you got it right away. You can see how it's almost like there's a softer energy about them. It's like they're shimmering with light. Just let your eyes adjust. There you go. You might see it. You might imagine it. Just trust that it's there. There you go. And there. And you said, oh my gosh, these are the kinds of people I want to connect with, associate with, talk with, interact with. And you can feel the happiness, the joyfulness, the gratitude and appreciation and the calmness and peace within themselves radiating from them, and your entire self relaxes. There you go. Take a deep breath in. And as you let that go, just turn around and take a look at the path you walked, and take a look at all those in the 3D and maybe some of these people you know, and simply bless them, acknowledge them, honor them, respect them, because that's their path. It doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make you bad. That's their path. But what if your path is something greater? What if your path is to live and to experience that beautiful, abundant, freeing, light, joyful, inspiring space of the new earth, and to interact with other like-minded individuals, groups? There you go. There, feel that relaxation and peace. There you go. There's some happiness. Now, go back, imagine what you were desiring in the beginning: house, car, just feeling happy and peaceful, at ease, trusting. You want to go swim with the dolphins. Take a month off and just relax and play. Feel good about yourself. Now imagine in this space, it's all possible. See, in this space, your heart opens up, you connect to that, and you say, oh my gosh, I so deserve this. And you look back at the 3D space, and you're like, why did I ever think I didn't deserve this? Of course I deserve this. And you look around and you say, oh, okay, it's the space I'm in now. I feel so happy, joyful, blissful, healthy, vibrant. And all of a sudden you realize mind, body, spirit, soul, all of you feels healthy, happy, vibrant. And you say, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I've been looking for my entire life, is this space, and to connect with others within this space who are breathing, who are radiating, who are aligned with gratitude, happiness, who are curious and inspired, who are joyful, supportive, authentic, accountable, peaceful, calm. And you feel that peace, within you. And you realize that it has all taken place. All your desires have taken place in the energetic space. And now it's simply a matter of time till you actualize that in the physical space. You can visit this space anytime you choose to. It's within you now. All you have to do is choose it. Believe in it. Trust. There you go. Shokabasa, wala sa shoko, kawala sa, wala sa shokabasa, wala ka. Awala sa shokabasa, wala sa shokabasa, wala ka, wala sa shoko, kawala sa. Take a deep breath in. As you let that go, if you choose to, you can open your eyes, maybe move your body a little, come back to the present moment as you're ready. There you go, my friend. Namaste. Oh, you look like you had a good little nap there, Laura.
Oh, well, I can't see quite yet, so it's like I'm just gonna assume everything is running smoothly. I know I'm unmuted, so just great. Thank you. That was that was great. I'm still not quite
That's
here.
okay. That's what we intended, was to, create a beautiful space for everybody. And sometimes, words are linear. So yeah, you're trying to adjust your
Yeah,
your
exactly.
worlds right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but how is everybody else doing? I know that was great for me, obviously, because I was in another space, and I was actually, yeah, it was. I heard at one point you said something about, why wouldn't you think you could have this or deserve this or experience this or whatever it was, something like that. It's like, yeah, why can't I? So it's
Yeah.
like so it's like I was there, experiencing it. So yeah, thank you. That was awesome. Okay, I'm back now.
Okay.
I'm back now. Yeah. So yes, how was that for you? What did you experience? What was, basically, what did you feel? What did you experience? What did you see or not see? Right. And sometimes it's not even about the seeing, but it's just like, what are you perceiving? Right.
And
Go ahead.
what we went through there, I mean, that was just a few minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. But on the calls especially, there's, there's about 7 hours of those Q&A calls. There's a lot of that. And even after I take a caller, because I've got more time, sometimes we'll do a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute, something like that to, release it even deeper if I'm working with a specific issue there. And then the meditation at the end, that's 15, 20 minutes, we go right into that. And so, yeah, there's 3 of those calls like that. So if anybody like that energy and you really want to immerse yourself for 33 days, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. So, so Heal, Evolve, Shine says beautiful, light, grace, and it, meaning it's all possible. Yeah. And Vivi says wonderful meditation seemed real, right? Yes, absolutely. For me
Yeah.
too, it felt really real. Amazing. Cheryl says thank you. Yeah, love and blessings, deep gratitude. Absolutely. And feel, I was just gonna say, Tanya says, I feel peaceful, right? So just feel the energy of that space that we were just in right now, right? Feeling peaceful, feeling expansive, feeling like anything is possible, or it is possible, or something greater is possible, right? And sometimes we have to tell ourselves that, over and over again. We have, because it's just an old pattern that's running in the background for some of us, right? That negative self-talk, etc. So we have to tell ourselves, that's what, so I have morning mantras. I choose to trust the universe, because trust is one of my issues, or it was in the past, right? So I choose to trust the universe. I choose to be grateful. I choose to trust in myself, etc. Right? Cindy says, thank you very much.
Choice is so huge. I always say that, start with there. You move from want and then you start choosing.
And I used to always, until recently, had a hard time with the choice thing. It's like, well, you can't just choose. You can't just say, I'm choosing this, and then what? But now that I'm doing it, I'm experiencing it in a different way, right? So
I want to go into that. It's a good point. And yeah, I choose, and now what? Because when you choose, you send an intentional frequency, so energy, out to the universe. And the universe starts to send you that. But that's when, and I talked about this earlier, that's when all your stuff will come up. Doubt, what if I don't deserve it? What if I'm not worthy of it? What will they think? What if I had all this money and I'd make choice? So then you stop the universe, that you just literally, the universe is sending you something, you stop that, but then you work through that. And you go deep down the rabbit hole, you release it, you feel lighter, you choose it again. And then, whatever you're looking for is coming closer to you, but then all the stuff comes up again until it becomes clear. And then we'll get the aha, or all of a sudden it will happen. It's like, wow, this just happened. Yeah, it's because you've been choosing it over and over again, going down the rabbit hole, clearing it out, choosing it again. And so that's why I say, figure out something you want and then move into choosing. We start with want. And once you have an idea what you want, and give yourself permission to change your mind, because we all change our mind. But yeah, this is what I want. Okay, well, I choose this. And the universe will always give you something greater than you can possibly imagine, because as great as our imagination is, we're still limited by our consciousness, our conditioning and such. So and if you are giving a detailed description to the universe or angels or whoever your guides are, then just say this or something greater. And they will give you, because that gives them permission to give you something greater than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of just what our limited minds can bring forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then the choosing, again, like Joy was saying, it's about choosing again and again and again, right? Because we are all doing the work. We're all doing the clearing work, releasing work, etc., healing work, right? So as we're healing, clearing, and releasing, then it's important for us to choose again, because all our, as our stuff gets healed and cleared and released, we have to kind of remind ourselves, oh yeah, this is what I'm choosing. This is what I want, right? So I'm continuing to choose this, right? And so for me, I choose every morning, but it's not just in the morning, it's like throughout the day as well, right? Whenever it comes into my awareness, I choose this. So I recently started asking my husband to do that, but his memory is not the greatest right now. So he's like, oh, I forgot. So because I ask him every day, so did you choose? Oh, I forgot. Did you choose? I forgot. He said, you have to write it down for me. He's like, okay, I will write it down. And that way and put it somewhere where he can see it, right? So that it might be easier for him to remember. But that's the thing. It's like all of us, it's that conscious choice as well as the energetic choice, right? So we have to consciously as well. And that's part of the taking action. As we're saying, I choose this, that's also part of the action, right? Because we're consciously involved in it.
Yeah, that's part of the action, choosing it. Yeah, that's an action. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good
Cindy says, thank you very much for the beautiful process, feeling much lighter and peaceful. Awesome, Cindy. Sorry, go ahead, Joy. You were saying something?
I was just going to say that's a good point. Choosing is part of the action. Anything like that is a part of the action. So figuring out what you want, moving into it, choose, and then saying I am. And then if you have to send an email or contact somebody, whatever the action is, or write something, then it's more of a physical action. But they're all actions. That's your bridge there.
That's your bridge. Absolutely. Wow, wonderful. Thank you. The calls with you go so fast, and I don't even know where the time goes, but my body is now saying, all right, we're feeling a little antsy in this chair. So it's like, but I just wanted to remind everybody again, please do check out the packages. The email will be out shortly. We'll go back and watch or listen to this show again for all the wonderful wisdom and the clearings and the process at the end. Please do that for yourself. It's a wonderful gift that you have available for you, is to go back and watch or listen. So please do that for yourself, and then take advantage of the packages. If you're an Inner Circle member, please use your gift code 10 or 25%, whatever works for you, right? So wonderful. Joy, I know this program is going to be awesome, and there's so much in it. You're giving so much, so it's like it's how generous. You're being extremely generous. So thank you for that.
Great, thank you, and thank you for having me on your show again, and all the amazing listeners and great questions and vulnerability. Yeah, it's always awesome to be on your show, Alara.
Absolutely, and get a picture taken.
Yeah, I'm going to get a new website too. So I'll have to come up with a new picture rather than the selfie I've got. That's a selfie I'm using right now. Probably shouldn't say that, but it is.
Because this haircut looks amazing on you. So I would definitely say, take another selfie. If nothing else, take another selfie. Okay.
Okay. Then.
Awesome. And thank you so much, everybody, for all your questions, comments, feedback. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us, sharing this beautiful space and co-creating the space with us. Thank you. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Tomorrow, we'll be back at 11 a.m. Eastern, so special time. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Much love and blessings, everyone. Bye for now.